Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me on another video, and today's video is going to be very good because today I'm going to be talking about why I hate the Google Pixel 2. Now, I've been using the Google Pixel 2 for about a month and a half now, and there's some things to like about it, but there's a lot of things not to like about it as well. So this format is meant to divide the pros and cons into different videos so you guys know what's not good and what's good, and you guys can make a decision based on that. So look forward to the why I love video as well. So let's get right into today's video with number one, the bezels. So the bezels on this phone are very large. Now this doesn't apply to the Pixel 2 XL. That has a lot smaller bezels, but the Pixel 2, the smaller size, is so much more annoying with these bezels because they're really big. And while I understand that they house the dual speakers, it doesn't really need to be this big. There's a lot of wasted space, in my opinion, where it could have been utilized for either making the screen larger or making the phone smaller. So I really don't know what Google and HTC was thinking when they made this device. And this is the HTC made device. The 2XL was made by LG, just to keep in mind. And the bezels really do change the experience of the phone for me. So the bezels, I have to say, really are something I hate about this phone. Moving on, number two, the build quality of this phone. Now, not many people seem to agree with me on this. However, a lot of people do seem to agree as well. So it seems like a little bit of a split decision, but I hate the build quality of this phone. Whenever you take this phone into your hand and you kind of look at it, it doesn't feel like a $600, $700, $800 phone. It just doesn't. While it is supposed to be a metal build, they have this weird hybrid coating on it, very similar to what the LG G6 had. So it kind of makes it feel like plastic instead of metal. And then on top of that, to add to the confusion, there's this little glass panel here, which is even more annoying to me because now there's two different materials on the back, which further add to the confusion, and just it doesn't make the device feel well built and solid. One thing that constantly bugged me was how one part of the phone wasn't slippery, one part was really slippery. So I don't know what you guys think about it, but for me, that's something I definitely hate and don't like. Not to mention, this phone doesn't feel like a $700, $800 phone. It just doesn't. Look at any other iPhone or the OnePlus 5T itself. They have a much higher build quality, in my opinion, and show it to anybody who doesn't know much about phones. They'll definitely say that the 5T is a more expensive phone in comparison to the Google Pixel 2. So let's move right on. Number three. So this goes hand in hand with that bezel issue, and that is obviously the infamous display. So the Pixel 2's display has been getting a lot of attention for the wrong reasons, and that was because of its display. So the 2XL was the real target here, but the Pixel 2 also had a lot of issues because these displays, the AMOLED displays on these phones aren't as high quality as their competitors from Apple, Samsung, and OnePlus. So the issue that came from this was that there was a lot of blue tint when you would, look at the phone from different viewing angles. There's a lot of people complaining about burn-in, and personally what I've seen the most here is that the display lacks a lot of contrast, so the colors are very dull. Put it next to a Galaxy S8 or the Note 8, it looks very different. And while those tend to be a little bit more oversaturated, this felt undersaturated. In my opinion, the iPhone X has that middle ground with the best saturation and natural look, but this felt very, very weird, to be very honest with you. And then they did introduce that update where it allowed you to go into the oversaturated, the even punchier mode, but that felt way too saturated. It was just a pop of color, and it didn't feel natural either. There is a mode in the middle. It's a lot better than the lower mode, the original mode, and that oversaturated mode. However, still, I think that this display just doesn't hold up to anything else that is out there, especially when it comes to the flagships. And honestly, for me, the display is the make or break feature because that's what you're looking at the entire time you're using the phone. So that needs to be the highest quality, especially since you're paying $700. This shouldn't be something that you have to skimp out on or compromise on. So one more point I'd like to make clear, guys, of all the display issues that were out there, the only one I've personally experienced on the Pixel 2 is that the colors are a little undersaturated. I haven't noticed blue tint on my phone, and I haven't noticed any burn-in, and I just checked before filming this video. Absolutely no burn-in. I've been using the phone for a month. So I think that maybe those issues were a little bit more secluded to the Pixel 2 XL. However, the undersaturation is there on both the 2XL and the 2. Number four, this is a little bit of a weird issue for me, and this has to be that there are no earphones that come in the box with the Pixel 2 XL. And that's an issue because there's no headphone jack on this phone. There's only this USB Type-C. Now the issue comes for me is I know that a lot of other manufacturers like OnePlus don't include headphones in their earphones in their phone in their boxes, but that's a $500 phone. This is an $800, $700 phone, if depending on what you get, and it doesn't have earphones out of the box. I cannot fathom why Google would charge you flagship prices but skimp out on providing earphones in the box, especially since it's a USB-C. A lot less people have USB-C earphones and USB-C accessories for the Google for any earphones, and that makes it very difficult to enjoy your audio. You either have to use wireless earphones or you have to use that adapter they give with you, which again is an additional add-on if you lose that one, and you're definitely going to lose that one. So they really ragged on Apple last year for ditching the headphone jack, and now they're doing it themselves, and they don't even bother to include earphones in the box, which Apple does. So there's a lot of cost cutting going on, but I really don't know where they applied the cost that they saved. So moving on, number 5. Now this is also something that I think it might be only to my device, but I want you guys to tell me if you have the same issues. The buttons on this phone are unusually hard for me. It's not like you can't press them, but you need significant force. So especially when I got it out of the box, I had to use my nails. I had to pile in the pressure to get the volume buttons and the power button to work. It's gotten a little bit more easier to push in as time goes on, but it's still definitely a lot harder. It's not a smooth click as the OnePlus 5T or the iPhone 10 is, and it's very weird to me because I haven't had a phone with buttons like this in a very long time. So I'm not sure if this is just limited to the HTC Pixel 2 or if it's on the LG's Pixel 2 XL as well. So if you guys have the phone, let me know down in the comments below if you have the same issue. The last and final, number 6, the price. So everything that's wrong with this phone is only wrong, in my opinion, because of the price. Now, if this was a $500 phone and it competed dead on with the OnePlus, I would not mind. I would just forget all these issues, and I would call this the perfect phone. My biggest issue with this phone is that it costs a base of, I believe, $649 or $699, depending on where you live. Not to mention that that's for the base model Pixel 2. You get the Pixel 2 XL in the highest storage variant. You're very close to $1,000, and for $1,000, you don't get earphones out of the box. The display isn't good. Let's just flat out, it's not good for $1,000. The camera is excellent, but that doesn't make up for everything else that's wrong with the phone. Not to mention, the build quality is still something that I am absolutely disappointed by. And I'm so disappointed, like immediately after I started using this phone, I knew I had to have a case or a skin on the phone. So the next day I ordered a skin because I absolutely did not like the way the Pixel 2 felt in my hand. And that's my biggest concern with this phone, is that the price doesn't match the device you're getting. It doesn't give you the value. The cameras are something out of this world. I agree. There's no doubt that these are the best cameras on a phone right now. However, I think that the price you have to pay for the best camera isn't worth the compromises you have to make with everything else. So if this phone was priced $500 or somewhere around that area, I think this would be the perfect phone. But since it's $700, $800, $900, I think that this phone is something you should take a hard pass on and look at something else like the Galaxy Note 8 or the iPhone 10, or maybe even the OnePlus 5T, because that does almost everything this does, and the only place it really lacks is the camera department. So that's it, guys. That's the 6 reasons why I hate the Google Pixel 2. Now, this phone is good. It does have a lot of good qualities about it, but these were the bad things I found about it while I was using the phone. So, don't go crucify me in the comments before you watch the other video about why I love this phone. So thank you guys for watching this video. I have all the links down below for my social media. Be sure to follow me. And I'm sure you guys must have heard, but YouTube now is gonna stop monetizing the channel if I don't get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe. I really appreciate the support. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.